Hello, my name is Iligr, and did you know that in order to promote Minecraft Dungeons 2's releasing this September, Mojang actually made a whole prequel game called Minecraft Dungeons back in 2020? The difference is that there's no 2 there, yeah. That game ended up being one of the best Minecraft title spin-offs, the best in my opinion, but one major complaint I have even had previously is that it struggles with replayability. Therefore, to help anyone who wants to hype up for Dungeons 2's release by playing the original, or to aid those who just want a new challenge, I'm here with my fellow YouTuber Wyper to give you 10 unique objectives to complete once you exhaust Apocalypse Plus and have all the gear you could want. With that, Wyper, could you take the stage?
Hello everyone, glad to be here. To start off, let's talk about the tower. This game mode is quite different from the rest of the game, but it's also quite fun and replayable, with it resetting every week. It also gives the best loot in the game by giving gilded items at power 263, including seasonal and DLC items even if the player doesn't own the DLC. However, to most experienced players, the tower is way too easy. But one way to make things more fun is by avoiding all tower merchants to make your tower slightly more difficult. This is also an in-game achievement, so unless you already have it, you should do this anyway.
Somewhat adding to that, maybe another variation of this challenge would be to take the loot as you would normally, but after initially picking certain artifacts, you're not allowed to replace them as you go, so you're forced to use lower level items throughout the whole run. I think that'd be even harder.
These challenges serve to make the tower more difficult, but now moving away from the tower is something a lot of people did back in the old days of dungeons, trying to get a piece of gear with all the same enchants. Now when it comes to doing this in the modern day, a player could just reroll the enchants using the enchant smith, but if you want to really give yourself a hard time, you can just hope that you get extremely lucky with the gear drop from a regular mission. The choice is yours.
That's true. Minecraft Dungeons enchantments are pretty varied, but occasionally one item can have the same enchantment in 2 or even 3 slots, where each adds to the power uniquely. This can be done either by re-rolling or, as Wyper said, by praying for a lucky drop.
And see if you can get one with 4, or in the case of gilded items, 5 of the same enchants. I'm not quite sure if it's completely possible for quintuple enchants, but you can give it a shot. Some enchants you can do this with are cooldown, radiance, leeching, looting, prospector, and a few other ones I can't quite remember.
Something like multi-shot on a bow or crossbow would be super cool. Imagine a whole build made with armor with quintuple protection and a melee weapon with maybe the same but for sharpness. One can cheat a little by getting other enchantment duplicates with are a great way to renew Dungeons' uniquity, since they can offer totally new things and re-inspire the wonder that the game had, especially since it was so alien while also being adjacent to the base game. Dungeons Original doesn't have much in the way of a modding fanbase, but it does have some players who've made things like arcade modes and whatnot, where you can summon any mob you want.
Obviously, there are basic ones that can add overpower items to the game, which you honestly should avoid because it takes a lot of the difficulty out of the game, but there are some fun ones that either change the game's play or alternatively change the aesthetics.
I play with a mod that changes one of the basic skins to be my usual professorish look, and there's some other mods out there that change the campsite and whatnot to fit a plethora of different themes.
If you played a lot of vanilla dungeons, then I'm sure mods will make the game a lot more fun to play.
Anything new is frankly valuable, otherwise you get the Arkham fanbase.
I hope that if modding returns for Dungeons 2, it's definitely a lot more toned down than Dungeons 1, and won't actually ruin the gameplay experience for players who don't want to mod items. I feel like cosmetic changes would be something I would like to see more than actual stat changes, just my opinion though.
I am super excited for Minecraft Dungeons 2's releasing. I got it pre-ordered now, compliments to winning it over on Zatrix's channel, hehe. And yes, I can't wait to make a video just like this one for that game someday too.
Lucky guy.
On the topic of my winning of Dungeons 2, if you saw that video, you probably know I won 2 copies of the 3 available for procuration. You may be glad to hear that I have no need for 2 editions and plan to give one away to a person who competes in my Discord. Pretty much anyone is eligible, and if you want a chance to win the game, check the server link in the description.
Holy transition.
Yup.
Next, let's talk about mystery armor. Something a player could try to do is trying to find some special mystery armor with very strong stats such as lifesteal aura and invincibility on roll.
Mystery armor is weird. It gives you 2 random attributes from other armors, a special glow color, and rarely a debuff. Maybe you could try to find a set with your favorite color and other useful properties.
One thing I would definitely love to see is one person get a 263 power mystery armor from the tower with 2 strong stats, no debuff, and a good tier 3 guild. Because playing with new items in general is fun, even if they aren't the super powered items that optimize the game to the point it's not fun. We've talked about wither armor in the past, and there's a lot of players who don't play with it because of the very issue that it's simply just too overpowered.
I know at least one person who doesn't ever switch out his loadout and playstyle, but it is really fun to get closer to the endgame and be able to actually change your style on whatever whim. I try to use a new loadout every video actually, just to keep the gameplay funner in the background. And on a totally different note, what if you ran without any artifacts? The artifacts are some of the most useful things in the game and can really aid a build, but consider just not using them.
Another thing you could try is not being allowed to hurt mobs. To do this, I suggest not even equipping a weapon, and playing just a level or two without the ability to kill anything, except for the gate guard ambushing mobs and bosses that need to be defeated. You could ban items like Shadow Shift to skip all the mobs, and instead use enchantments like Thorns, Electrified, or Burning to get the mobs out of the way.
Like that, don't use enchantments. Make your own debuffs too. No artifacts, no hurting mobs, and no enchanting are great, but you're really able to modify or otherwise remove any aspect of the game you want and see how it plays. Maybe a no health potion run, with only bread and other consumables alongside your gear being able to help you.
Health potions don't do too much later in the game without enchantments, so it's one of the easier challenges to perform. Some enchantments that would be absolutely necessary are things like Anima Conduit, Radiance, or Leeching. Try to go through the whole base game and DLC content without even dying once. If that's too hard, then try to do it without losing a mission.
That would be a fun one, and you could even mash that up with some of the others on this list. I mentioned in a different video that I want Dungeons 2 to have a hardcore mode, which would at least keep a little bit of the fanbase alive, fighting for records and whatnot, and this is sort of like that, but in the base game.
There's a lot of things Mojang could add to the sequel. We're all very excited, but until it comes out, these are some of the other things that you should try doing.
Do consider playing with these effects. If you do it in a YouTube video, please share it with me on Discord. They are the means to knowing yourself just a tiny bit more. Plus, on that, keep learning about who you are, and as always, remember to keep on loring, because I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching, and have an amazing day.